What's up guys, this is Gerard, back to you with another tutorial video on taxation. On this video, I'm going to be talking about Voluntary Assessment and Payment Program or VAPP. So I'll be discussing in 5 parts and then I'll put the timestamps right here so that you can easily review the video. This program comes from Revenue Regulation 21-2020. The main reason for this program is to quickly collect revenue for government's use. Now I encourage you to read this revenue regulation. I will link it in the description below. So let's start with the first one, which is coverage. So the program is available to natural or juridical persons who are liable to pay internal revenue taxes for the taxable year 2018, who either erroneously paid the tax liability or failed to file a return or pay such internal revenue taxes. Take note that in order to avail of VAPP, the unpaid taxes should be filed along with its corresponding penalties for late filing and payment shall first be paid by the taxpayer. Now in terms of exception or those who cannot avail, based from the revenue regulation, taxpayers falling under any of the instances shall not be able to avail of VAPP. Taxpayers with duly issued final assessment notice that became final and executory on or before the effectivity of the revenue regulation. Those under investigation with respect to tax deficiencies from verified information coming from a tax informer. Third one, those with cases involving tax frauds filed and pending in the DOJ. Lastly, those with pending cases involving tax evasion and other criminal offenses. Taxpayers with duly issued VAPP Certificate of Availment shall not be audited for 2018 of any tax types covered by the availment. Now, what if the taxpayer is currently being audited and availed of such program? Now, the conduct of audit shall be suspended while the availment is being evaluated. It shall resume if the availment is found to be invalid. Now, in order to apply for VAPP, submit the duly accomplished BIR Form 2119, which is the application form. For a taxpayer availing for a non-ONET and ONET at the same time, separate availment should be filed, such as for business taxes and donor's tax or estate tax. More importantly, the voluntary payment as indicated in the submitted BIR Form 0622, which is the payment form, should be in cash as a condition for availment of the VAPP privilege. So non-cash payments such as tax debit memo and the like will not be accepted. Here are the complete documentary requirements for submission. Now if all goes well with such availment, the concerned RDO shall issue a certificate of availment within 3 working days upon the approval of such application. Now let's go to the amount to be paid. For final withholding taxes and creditable withholding tax other than those on ONET, the amount to be paid shall be 5% of the total basic withholding tax remittance for the taxable year 2018. For taxes on ONET such as estate tax, donor's tax, capital gains tax, ONET-related creditable withholding tax or expanded withholding tax and documentary stamp tax, the amount to be paid shall be the basic tax due of the unified tax return or unpaid tax due plus 5%. For income tax, value-added tax, percentage tax, excise tax, and documentary stamp tax other than those from ONET, we will refer to the schedule provided by the revenue regulation. The amount to be paid must be whichever is higher between column B and column C. The total taxes due in 2017 and 18 for purposes of the schedule refer to the sum of all tax due per return and net VAT payable before deducting any creditable withholding tax, quarterly payment, or advance payment. In cases where any non-ONET tax deficiency covering the taxable period under Section 3 of the Revenue Regulation has already been paid, the basic deficiency tax paid shall be added to the tax due of the applicable tax return for 2018 in computing the amount of voluntary payment, provided that such payment did not arise from cases excluded from the coverage of VAPP. For taxpayers with tax credits or tax refund, the availment shall constitute a waiver of such claims. unless the taxpayer would exclude a specific tax and use such tax credit and tax refund. And that's it. So what do you think about this program? Let me know in the comment section. Now, if you found this video very helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet already. So I'll talk to you in the next one.